In the twin flame community, we often speak about karmics. Usually when we use this word, the word karmic, we are referring specifically to what we would call a third-party romantic situation. Third party being anything that appears to be outside of or interfering with the twin flame connection. Now, the interesting thing about karmics that many of us fail to see in these moments of being so triggered or so overwhelmed or confused by these situations, what many of us don't realize is that these people, these so-called romantic karmics, even platonic karmics, any kind of karmic situation really, is actually symbolic. What I mean by symbolic is that this situation, whether it is a person, whether it is a negative thought pattern, a negative behavior pattern, an addiction, at the root of any of these situations that come up with us or with our twin is some kind of energetic pattern that is being broken and reprogrammed through the manifestation of this situation. In some sense, we could think of karmics in our lives or in our twin flames life as being a sort of test. And I'm speaking about this right now because on the planet, I have felt this myself and also spoken with other twin flames who have been feeling this as well. And many of you have even been commenting about this. And what many of us have been feeling is that certain karmic tests are coming up or have come up recently or will be coming up soon in the future for the purpose of, like I said earlier, essentially being energetically reprogrammed, because I'm really emphasizing that simply because of the fact that when we are in these situations, they are usually highly triggering. Usually we feel ourselves triggered to some kind of negative cascade of emotions, whether it is fear, whether it's anxiety, which is really just another form of fear, confusion, doubt. It sends us off on this avalanche of negative thoughts, but again, all for the purpose of actually revealing to us this energetic pattern, this negative energetic framework within ourselves that is causing the manifestation of this situation, of the resulting emotions, therefore giving us the opportunity to transcend it, to become conscious of it by seeing it, by feeling it in such a profound way, and sometimes a profoundly negative way, all for the divine purpose of bringing our attention to this thing, allowing us to become conscious of it, to reframe it, to transcend it, to heal ourselves, essentially, to break that pattern within ourselves. Now, I keep talking about energetic patterns within us, how these karmics represent these patterns. And what I mean by that is when we have, let's say, for instance, a karmic partner enter our lives, either prior to connecting in the physical with our twin or even afterwards, or if this happens to our twin flame, either way, this person is coming back because we may have moved on past this person, but we haven't yet broken the pattern, the energetic pattern within us. So this isn't happening in this very literal way for all of you, but I do know a good deal of you have been commenting saying, my twin flame's karmic came back, or my ex came back, or an ex-husband, an ex-karmic situation. Or if not that, there could just be a literal karmic cycle of some kind coming back to the surface, a negative behavior, a negative thought cycle, like some kind of an addiction. These karmic cycles, patterns, or people can take many different forms. But the key here, and something I just wanted to quickly speak on in this podcast, is the fact that many of us worldwide as twin flames are being presented with these karmic tests. And I just heard the word temptation. I want many of you to be aware that you or your twin may have recently or may in the near future feel yourself pulled back into some kind of situation, a negative pattern within yourself, or maybe not something that's inherently negative, but something that is smaller or more stifling. And what I mean by that is, I just got the image of like a hermit crab that had already shed its shell, trying to fit back into an old shell. And I don't know much about hermit crabs, so I'm not really sure if that's even an accurate image that I'm getting there, but you get the gist. I'm sensing that many of you listening may have been presented with conversations, environments, situations, people who have almost tempted you with this past version of yourself, specifically tempted the ego, that part of us that wants to be validated, that wants to be, I just heard admired, like understood on this kind of superficial level. And I know I'm speaking kind of broadly here. This may apply very differently for different people, but I'm speaking on this because I simply want those of you who are dealing with this to be aware of what's going on here. And accompanying this, those of you who are being tested by these karmic situations or this temptation to kind of shrink back within yourself may also be feeling increased levels of fatigue, exhaustion. You might be feeling unsettled in your energy or confused, and know that what you are feeling are the symptoms of your body, not just the physical body, but the energy body, the emotional body, the mental body as well. Your body at all layers of its existence, processing these situations, clearing out these karmic situations, essentially from your energetic framework where they've been very deeply programmed. And I just wanted to speak on this because I know many of you have been feeling a lot of heavy energies, potentially even doubt or confusion. Or if you aren't feeling this, you may notice that your twin seems to be going through some of these things. And I just want you to be aware of the divine purpose of these things coming up, and also to be aware that nothing is going wrong here. Now, the final thing I want to say about karmic tests is, and I kind of touched on this earlier, but specifically what's being tested is your ego. Because regardless of how long we've been on this spiritual awakening path, we've been conscious of being twin flames, we always have some level of ego that is present. And actually, the presence of ego is healthy because it's how we determine our own identity, our place in this world. However, what happens is the ego, through societal programming, becomes very, very unhinged, unbalanced. It dominates. It completely stifles that soulful, authentic part of ourselves, and must go through this kind of death experience where it is essentially forced to deconstruct, to kind of self-destruct, and then following this, the deconstruction process is forced into being, during which essentially every aspect of your life that is out of alignment with that soulful part of yourself, that most authentic part of yourself, is completely, deconstructed. It's the best word I can find for it, because it's literally taken apart, bulldozed to the ground in order to lay the foundation for something new, something truly authentic with who you are, to be built upon that wreckage. But during this ego death experience, this is very often when we are presented with these karmic tests, these moments of, I just heard like being shown how life could be different, but it's an illusion. I keep getting this image over and over of someone who is potentially exploring, or in their mind, because of how they've been triggered, thinking they're going to explore other options besides their twin flame, but they open the door and there's just a wall behind the door. It's like there's something here about the illusion of options. And hopefully when I do a reading that I'm planning on doing after this, we can discuss some more specifics on what I'm feeling on this, because I feel that may resonate with some of you. But what you need to know is that the ego is being tempted in this way, being kind of triggered in this way to think, well, maybe I just don't want to be on this path anymore. Maybe there's some kind of easy way out. Like it's searching for some kind of way to bypass its own demise, to bypass this very earth-shattering sort of process that it's going through, because I just heard tired. It's like there's this feeling of tiredness with how long this has gone on, especially right now because of the more intense, heavier energies that we are processing. And so for whoever you are listening to this, I know that some of this may have connected with you, some of it may not resonate, but I do want you to know that if you or your twin is going through a karmic test right now of some sort, meaning there's some kind of situation that's been presented in the form of a karmic cycle, a karmic person, a karmic third party, family members, people who are, I just see this kind of whirlwind of like doubt, confusion, people who are causing that whirlwind of confusion in your connection. Know that this is not a symptom of something going wrong, but actually a symptom of very deep level energetic reprogramming that you are processing through your physical body, through your energy bond with your twin, through this purging. And the word purging just comes up a lot, and many of you have used this word specifically in your comments to describe this kind of feeling you've been getting lately, purging a lot of negative energies. And I just want you to be aware that's not something you're going through alone. You aren't the only one going through this. This is a collective experience right now for many, many twin flames on the planet. And also, this serves a higher level divine purpose. You are literally clearing out, well, what we would call karma, karmic cycles, negative energetic programming, not just for you, but for your entire family's lineage, and not just your family, but even your community, and then planetary, on a planetary level, worldwide, globally. You are clearing out these negative karmic energies, which again, aren't necessarily what we think of them to be as these past life, I hurt someone in a past life, so I have to deal with this karma, but more so like the planet has been hurting, and through setting this new energetic pattern, through breaking these old planetary cycles, we are part of this planetary healing process. We are part of healing it. So I do just want to share that message with those of you who have felt either alone or confused lately along this journey. And I also want to share with you what I personally use every single morning to clear my own energy, to ground myself. Really, many Twin Flames teachers speak on this, but energetic hygiene is so important. Whatever works specifically for you, whether it's meditation, whether it is sound therapy, affirmations, whatever process you have for clearing your energy, be sure to take extra care to participate in those energy clearing processes at this time. Now, personally, I've tried many different energy clearing and manifestation rituals and tools, and the one tool I continuously come back to that I have used for years and seen the most effective results using are subliminals. Now, the reason I use subliminals is because they address both the conscious and unconscious parts of the brain, but specifically emphasize reprogramming the subconscious mind, which is really essential for energy clearing because 95% of our thoughts are subconscious. And it's often said that the subconscious is actually a direct link to the energy field, to the aura. So these negative thoughts that we habitually think become unconsciously stored and therefore stored in our energy field. So I've created a twin flame 7 chakra energy clearing subliminal that is designed to clear out these negative vibrations, blocks, and frequencies that we store within each of the 7 chakra centers in the energy body. It contains 7 different binaural beat frequencies, as well as I believe about 100 unconscious affirmations targeted to each of these different chakra centers. So this comes from my website, soundandsoulful.com, which, as you can see on the screen, on this website, I've created over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. You can try out any of the subliminals I've created completely free by creating a free trial account on my website. And again, the Twin Flame 7 Chakra Clearing is linked in the pinned comment and description box under this video. Thank you for joining me. I know this was a bit of a shorter video. I really hope that if I resonate with you, if my message resonates, you will consider subscribing to this channel, joining our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. And if you are being faced with any kind of karmic situation in your life and your twin's life, please know that you are not alone. And also, I would just admonish you to have the courage to always tune into what your soul knows to be true for you, for your path with your twin, rather than listening to what any guru says, what I say, what anyone else says, what your family says, what a psychic told you. What truly matters, what is truly truth for you, is stored within you and is for your intuition, for your understanding only. So follow that compass of your soul, that intuition above all else along this path, and really work to construct walls energetically around yourself to those negative voices and vibrations that could potentially be trying to influence you away from that core soul frequency of unconditional love that your soul knows to be true. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You can follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more frequent energy updates and messages for Twin Flames. And I will talk to you again in the next podcast.